Welcome to the Krista Escamilla Show.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to this week's episode of the Krista Escamilla Show. I am grateful that you're spending some time with us today doing three of our favorite things, which is listen, learn, and grow. And I hope that life is treating you well wherever you're at. I am so excited to introduce today's guest for many reasons. One's right over there, but for many reasons. But first, I want to thank our sponsors. A huge thank you and shout out to we'll begin with Rig ID Workwear, Thin FR, to the Preserve at Midland, Omni Midland Hotel, the Laughlin Hotel, Thin FR, and joincapclub.com. Have I forgotten anyone, Al? I don't think so. Kevin Foreman Financial, and also to I said Rig ID, so we'll just say it one more time. So we cannot thank those local sponsors enough, and we can't thank you enough for supporting local, because that is where it is at. As I mentioned before, we have an amazing guest today, so I want to start off with a few of her titles. We begin with the Public Relations Specialist for Diamondback Energy, and she is the host of Fueling Tomorrow podcast. Please welcome with a big round of applause, Erin Bailey.
Thank you.
Thank you, Erin, for being with us today. And I'm going to add one more. She's also my daughter's boss right now.
Yeah. We have Allie as an intern.
Allie's an
Phenomenal.
intern. That's right. That's why I said I was excited because it's been a fantastic summer, and I will dive into that later. But first, I want to hear your story. How did you get to Midland, Texas?
By a lot of different avenues.
Fantastic. Can't wait to hear it.
Just like you, after college, I wanted to go into broadcasting. Mm-hmm. I actually started in sports broadcasting, and my first job was with the Midland Rockhounds. So I was their in-game host and announcer. And then I was like, baseball's the route I want to go. So tried to stay in the minor leagues. I went to the AA of the Yankees in New Jersey, AAA of the Royals in Omaha, and then was actually let go from that job. They just didn't think it was a good fit to try TV. Like, that seems to be a better avenue for you. And I was like, okay, well, might as well. Yeah.
Might as well.
So then I became a reporter and talk show host in San Angelo.
Oh, okay.
And hosted a lifestyle segment every day, Monday through Friday at 4 p.m. And then, as you know, the broadcasting world, well, in general, does not pay well.
Yes, let's just be honest.
Yeah.
The pay is awful.
And I was nearing the age where I was getting kicked off of my parents' insurance, and I was like, I don't think I can support myself in this business.
Right.
And so then I ended up back in Midland at the City of Midland.
Oh, okay. And so you were at the City of Midland for a time?
Yes, so I was their public information officer through all the fun times of COVID.
Oh, goodness.
And
we were just talking about COVID off camera.
Yes.
Fun times, right? Yes.
Yeah.
That must have been interesting. I'm sure you learned a lot, though, through it.
Oh, it was trial by fire for almost everything. A lot of the things were things the City of Midland was experiencing for the first time. And luckily, I was working alongside Mayor Patrick Payton, but we were on the phone probably every single day. Just being like, okay, how are you going to handle this one?
Right. What's the message today? Because as a communication specialist, you're getting the message out to the community, and that needed messaging every day.
Every day, and especially during that time as well. There were so many great things with the City of Midland and working with our fire and PD, because they're just phenomenal individuals.
Yes,
but during that time, it was a lot of negative, which was hard because you're like, I'm the bearer of bad news for a lot of things going on.
What was the biggest lesson you learned during that time?
Oh my gosh, sleep while you can. That was probably a big one.
That's a good one.
Yeah. And then I know we'll get to a quote later, but I think the quote I have chosen is just kind of like, you never know the day is going to bring. And it's, you can control yourself, and that's it.
Amen. I agree. Could not agree more. I love that. And I want to back up a little bit, because I always love to shout out our local colleges, and this is such a great one. You went to Lubbock Christian University in Lubbock, and you ran cross country?
Cross country and track, yes.
And track? That's amazing.
Track by default. We went there more so for cross country.
I may be a little biased, but I believe, and I truly believe this, that athletes are the hardest workers. Once they graduate, when they get in the workforce, I mean, if you are looking to hire someone, it used to be a joke in our newsroom. I would be like, are they an athlete?
Well, time management is huge.
Time management is huge. And then in TV, of course, you know, your time management. So I would always say to our news director, are they an athlete? If so, hire them.
Yes.
Because they're the hardest workers in a newsroom.
And that's what I know. Allie and I have talked about this. When you finish with your sport,
right,
you're kind of like, what the heck do I do?
Like, you have so much time.
Yeah, you've never had that much free time in your life, because you've been dedicating your time to your sport for so long, and then you're just trying to figure yourself out and then where you want to go next. And it was such an odd time, but here we are.
What I love that. What did you learn from that time at Lubbock Christian? Because I know it's such a great school, and if you are looking for a school that really just has that connection one-on-one with students and teachers and coaches, it really is a beautiful place. What was your takeaway from your time there?
My takeaway, I don't think I would have gotten, school was never my thing. So I don't think I would have gotten through without the small class sizes. And I think for people and kids, as they look at schools, like, don't rule those small schools out. Because a lot of people say, well, they don't have like the student life I'm looking for. And I'm like, okay, well, at least with Lubbock Christian, Tech's right down the road.
Right.
And a lot of those small schools share a town with a big school, and you get the best of both worlds.
Absolutely. And that's what I find, with our girls. They would go to the Tech games, and they could still experience it, but yet have that community from a smaller school.
And I prefer to have a teacher that knows my name and knows who I am. And especially being an athlete, it made it that much easier when you do miss class, that they're like, oh, Erin's not just absent for some reason. It's like they're missing it because they have their sport, but they're going to get it done.
Right. For all my track friends out there, what did you run? What was your...
So it was 6K for cross country, and then I really despised track. So I had no business doing the 1500 because I have no speed, but because it was the first race of the meet, I was like, put me in.
Put me in that. That's hilarious. Put me in the first one. That way I'm done for the day. I love it. Oh, that's great. Well, then, so I love how your journey brought you here to Midland. And I did not know that you worked for the city of Midland. So I love that. That then has taken you to this new role where you're at. And you are doing a beautiful job in it. You're doing a great job. Tell us how you got to Diamondback Energy.
So actually, after the city of Midland, I moved to Houston. That's where my family is. And I was like, I want to be close to home. I tried 2 PR jobs there, and they were just horrible. And realized I missed Midland.
Oh.
And especially
did you hear that?
Yeah, I chose to come back.
Allie, did you hear that? She missed me. We're always trying to get our kids back.
Well, I think there's so many things to say about the community here. And in Houston, it is really hard to plant those roots as a young adult, especially making friends as an adult is so hard.
Right, it is.
And so once I realized I wanted to come back and be in a community where I felt like I belonged, I was like, I started looking for roles and landed at Diamondback, and now it's been over 2 years.
I love that. What a great story. And to be not just in Midland, but to be at one of the best companies. I mean, it is a world-renowned company, Diamondback Energy. I bet that must have been exciting, just like stepping into that role. But you have a very important job. You have to share the key messaging of Diamondback to the world, not just locally. So what was that like, just taking those first steps out of, you took all the best of your experiences.
That's what I tell people.
And got to put them together in one role, right? I mean, that's what it sounds like.
Yes, and that is why I started the podcast. One, as a means to share information where it's not just a social media post or a press release. We can actually sit down and have a conversation. Yes. And our seasons are kind of evolving as we go. We're only in the 2nd season, so it's still new. But the best part about it is Diamondback does so much good, not just for Midland, but the oil and gas industry as a whole. And so getting to share the positive stories and communication in oil and gas, especially when I started, they don't do the best at pushing their narrative out. So really brand awareness is number one, and letting people know who Diamondback is, but especially for the people in the Permian Basin. We want you to know that Diamondback supports the community, and for our employees in Oklahoma City, that we want to make where we live and work a better place.
Right. And that's the beauty of podcasting. You really do. To me, it's my favorite day of the week when we're going to sit down, because I get to hear someone else's story and we can learn from each other, right?
Yes.
And focus on
And I think you always learn something new.
Oh, absolutely.
Even when
Every
I host,
single, don't you?
Yeah, I walk away and I'm like, wow, I had no idea that my guest did that.
Right, exactly, which is the beauty of it. Because in our town, you run into people at the grocery store, you see each other at chamber events, or you see each other at a networking event, but it's kind of very high.
Yes.
How's life?
We're all so busy.
How are the kids? Right. There's not this like deep connection, and the beauty of podcasting is you get to do that more so than TV. So I think God put you right where you're supposed to be.
Yeah. I like to think that too. Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, we're going to stop for a quote of the day. I'm sitting here today in Midland, Texas, with Erin Bailey, and she is just a joy. I'm so glad we're getting to get to know her more, and we will let you know where to listen to her podcast in just a few minutes. But first, we're going to do our quote of the day. So how this works is you're going to pick out of the pile. Let me mix them up.
I know, I'm like, okay, well, look.
And see which quote you get, and then you'll read it.
Oh, important.
Oh, because you have a very important job there.
What you get by achieving your goals is not as important as what you become by achieving your goals. Zig Ziglar.
Oh, I love Zig Ziglar. What does that mean to you?
I feel like it's like you're learning something along the way no matter what you're doing.
Yes, and that's so true. And like we were just talking about with the podcast, you learn something every single time.
Yes.
Okay, so now it's time for your favorite quote. Although you did drop a little hint earlier.
I did.
Let's dive into that a little bit more. Tell us your favorite quote that you live by and why that's important to you.
So the quote that I have chosen is that joy does not simply come to us. We must choose joy and choose it every single day.
Amen. That is so important. I'm right there with you. If you ask Allie, right? I love quotes, right, Allie? I love quotes. That one is so important because I think we do have a choice. And I always believe in looking for the good.
Me too.
Because there is the good.
Yes.
You can find good everywhere. You can always make lemonade out of lemons, right? And I think it is a choice, though, because I come across a lot of people that are not choosing that. And I'm like, oh, but let's look at the good here.
Yes.
Because I know it might be a challenging time, but there is some beauty in it.
And I always think that the last few years, like I've been through some really hard things.
Yes.
But from the outside looking in, you would have no idea.
Right.
But that's because I chose that. And like, I'm not saying you can't take moments to be down and like really let yourself feel the feelings, cry, let it out, do all the things, go for a walk, whatever it is. But then the second you have to walk outside and really deal with your day, and like if you take it from a positive mindset, your whole day shifts.
Absolutely, 100%. I love that. I love that you chose that quote. I think that is so important, and I'm glad you shared that with our guests today. Let's talk a little bit more about the podcast, because I know that is where you do a lot more than that. You do other
I wish I just got to do the podcast.
Right. I know Allie tells me how busy y'all's day, your day is. And by the way, Allie is interning for Erin right now at Diamondback. If you're going, why do you keep talking about Allie? Because she's my girl. And she gets to work with Erin every day. And so she, talks about all the amazing things that y'all do. But the podcast, I think, is fantastic because you get to share with the community and the world all the good that is happening. So I want you to share with us in a nutshell what some of the favorite moments are that you've had on the podcast that you've been able to relate to the community.
So with Fueling Tomorrow, it is presented and put on by Diamondback, and we have a great producer downtown. But the whole goal of last season was sharing all about our community partnerships, which is amazing because we have our corporate affairs team does phenomenal work creating really specialized partnerships that make an impact in Midland and the Permian Basin.
Absolutely.
And this year we've really shifted to share a lot of our leadership's team stories.
Yes.
So one of my highlights of the season was getting to interview Travis, our CEO that just transitioned into the role of executive chairman.
Yes.
And that was really his first time talking about what this transition is going to look like for him and the message to employees about like just thanking them for the hard work they've done during his time as CEO. And he is just a gem of a human.
Yes, could not agree more.
So getting to connect with him on that personal level that you could not get over text,
right,
or a press release or any of that, it was just such a highlight for this year.
I think that's fantastic. And how he is, I'm sure, on camera is how he is off camera. He is the nicest human being and such a giving heart. And he founded the company here. Was it back in 2006 or 7?
So 2007, and then they went public in 2012.
Okay. And so just to see his journey, because I'm that old and I've been here since before 2007, to see the journey of the company has been amazing. To go from, from it being private to being public, and to see all the good that they do.
Yes.
They are not just a company, they are a company who gives back, right? And so let's talk about what are some of the favorite things that you do give back to that you've maybe learned through the podcast.
So one of the things that we have is the Rolling Barista program. And I think anyone who has been a part of Diamondback, or even if they're vendors and they come to visit or they just stop by Faskin Towers during the school year, we partner with Midland High and Legacy High School and their special services team, and it helps kids with developmental disabilities. So they actually get to come into Diamondback. We have the Rolling Baristas program, and they serve coffee to our employees twice a week. And we partner with the Fuel Bar and Black Rifle Coffee Company, and we serve their products. But it's completely free to our employees, and these kids just get to learn and interact and work on work-ready skills and conversation and eye contact and all the things that we take for granted that we just know.
Right.
And so it's equipping them to have skills where they can hold a real job outside of that.
I love that. I love the way that you pour back into the youth, and also supporting local businesses. So shout out to our friend Alexis.
I know,
at Fuel Bar.
our girl.
That's right. And also to Black Rifle Company, another local business. So I love that. You don't just walk the walk. I mean, or talk the talk. You walk the walk, right?
Yes.
You are all about local, all about giving back. That is a great program. And that is just one of many.
I was like, oh, we could really talk so long about it.
We really could. There are so many other, ways that Diamondback gives back to make our community stronger and better. Why is that an important message for Diamondback? Why is that important to all of the executives to pour back into our community?
It's one of the main pillars for Diamondback. And it's because, and Travis even talks about this in our podcast episode, that once he got out of the survival and they started to come into the significance and success phases of the company, he realized we have the opportunity to do more, and why not give back to the community that's giving so much to us. Our company wouldn't exist if we didn't have the Permian Basin to supply oil and gas for the world.
That's right.
And so they've been very intentional about, we don't just want to give money, we want to have purpose behind it. So yes, we sponsor a lot of events, but when it comes to our true partnerships, we're not just giving dollars, we're giving our employees as resources, and we're really making it meaningful for us and for them.
Right. I love that. Let's talk about the Midland Athletic Syndicate, because I know there was a big day the other day.
Yes.
The beam was raised. It's exciting to see. I drove by the other day for the first time in probably like 3 months.
Is it not insane, the progress that they made?
I was like, whoever's building that in Costco,
Yes,
big round of applause.
And people came to us. So I am so honored to serve on the board of directors for the Midland Athletic Syndicate. But people have come to us and been like, well, Costco raised their wall so quickly. What's taking you guys so long? I'm like, well, we got a few more things that are going on in there. But I was like, plus Costco brings their own team.
Right.
We don't have that. But Lee Lewis is doing an outstanding job.
I think y'all are moving along beautifully.
Yeah.
Because I was really impressed.
You need to go by this week. They raised almost all the concrete walls. So the full structure is almost built out. And
Very cool.
when you just see the slab, you were like, this doesn't look like it's going to be that big. But now that all the walls are up, it is like, holy cow, this thing is massive. And it's going to be 115,000 square feet.
That's amazing.
Of athletic space.
And let's talk a little bit about that for our listeners or viewers that maybe don't really know what the Athletic Syndicate is. It is really going to transform, first of all, for parents. They won't have to drive as far.
This was the driving force behind it.
Yes. It is going to provide athletic space for travel teams,
Yes.
which, and you're an athlete, you traveled a lot. It's nice when you can play in your own backyard,
Yeah.
right? So tell us a little bit about what they can expect once it's built.
So it is primarily a space for tournament and league play. And when on our open gym days, there will always be a court that's open to the public free of charge. So for kids that want to come play or parents that need a safe space for their youth to go, then that's going to be a place for them. But we will have 6 full-size basketball courts, which will then translate into 12 volleyball courts or 12 youth basketball courts. And then behind that, we'll have 2 turf spaces for soccer.
That's amazing.
Or flag football, lacrosse, whatever turf space is needed, but that gives them an indoor spot to play. And my favorite part about it is that we're really trying to let the refs and the coaches and the kids play the game.
Love it.
So modeled after Dodge Jones in Abilene, this brings parents out of the game, and they are actually, as the kids go downstairs to play, the parents go upstairs. So there's bleachers around, and it really, we were just talking about this, and I could be wrong, but from what I remember when we were doing our tour last week, is that 5 laps around the facility, like the walking path, we're going to call it, where the bleachers sit, will be a mile. So as parents are waiting for the games, if they just want to get their steps in, they're more than welcome to do so. But we're really trying to let the kids play.
I love
And
it.
everyone has been to those games where there's a few parents that might be a little too noisy.
No.
Yeah,
never heard of
witnessed
that.
Yeah.
At
But-
every game.
But they can yell, they can scream, but the acoustics in that building are going to bring the sound up.
Yeah.
So the kids will hear their parents cheering, but we won't, those refs and the coaches are really going to get to do the jobs that they're supposed to do.
I love that. And you know who's going to love this more than the coaches and the rest? The kids.
Yes.
The kids are going to benefit from this because nothing hurts my heart more than seeing at a game, and I've seen, I've got
Yeah.
4 kids. They all played sports. We've seen it a time or two, but seeing parents fight or seeing parents yell at the refs when it's like, let's just let them play. They're
Yes.
kids.
That-
Let
yes.
them play the game and have fun because that's what it's supposed to be about. Having fun, learning work ethic, and,
Yes.
and doing something they enjoy. So,
And every kid needs to learn how to take care of it themselves.
That's
You
right.
don't need your parent budging in and doing it for you. And I mean, I remember those kids, even being a runner.
right.
You had some parents that would just even yell at their child, and you're like, oh my gosh, it's not that serious.
I know. That hurts my heart.
And sometimes
so
you just
much.
have a bad day.
Yes. Yes.
So the kids are going to get to work through that and just learn those life skills as they go.
yeah, I love that. Hopefully you could push the little rewind like 3 times on what she just said. Listen to that again because that is so true. And I'm glad you mentioned that because that is one thing I hadn't heard about.
Yeah.
So I'm so glad we got to
It's
hear
and
that
there are
today,
going to
that
be a
it's gonna
few
be
things
separate. I love
that will separate it from other travel sport areas. Is one, you're going to get to stay in Midland, which is the
Yes.
main goal behind this. Is that
Yes.
we're bringing tourism dollars to Midland. Hotel motive tax is going to go up, and the whole city is going to benefit. But then another cool partnership we have is with Kent Quick. So
Yes.
instead of just being able to get nachos, chips, candy, they are actually going to have a mini convenience store in the facility.
Oh, that's
Where
fantastic.
you're going to be able to get grab and go items, and where if you can't leave, you're going to have everything you need right there.
I love it. I love it. And Kent Quick, another great.
Yes.
I mean, talk about wonderful. We love Kent Quick. A wonderful locally owned business that is doing big things. So I love again that you have partnered with someone like Kent
Yes.
Quick. Fantastic. What advice would you give to someone that is, maybe looking to go into the PR field, or maybe they are looking to start a podcast, or maybe they're looking to, do something in communications? Because I could talk all day about how much I love it.
Yeah.
Because I really, truly feel like podcasting is the way to go. It really is. But what advice would you give to someone that is maybe going into it?
I think, and I have a very untraditional background when it comes to getting to corporate comms, but I think any experience is good experience. I learned something at every single job I did, whether it was for the good or for the bad, but I
Right.
came out a better person for it. And now anything that's put on my plate, I'm like, okay, even if I don't know how to do it, I'm like, I can do it. I'll
Right.
figure it out.
Yes.
And I think is trying to figure out what type of industry you want to go in, because like the jobs I had in Houston, I was not passionate about those industries. So
Yes.
it was really hard to share those stories when I myself didn't have any investment in it.
Right. It's hard to, and I'm just using this as an example, write about underwater basket weaving, or so when you don't really want to be an underwater basket.
Yes.
Right. And remember, that was just, if you love that, I am really happy for you.
Yeah, you go for it.
Yeah. But I was trying to think of something that, if you're not passionate about it, why are you doing it? Right.
Yes.
Because it shows if you're not.
And then
Right.
it's really hard to get up and go to work every day.
Yes.
So then I knew, I was like, I love the people in Midland. I love what the oil and gas industry stands for. I love that it is providing a service that benefits everybody.
Yes.
And it makes it that much easier to do our job when it's something that I actually enjoy sharing. And I have learned so much
Yes.
about the industry from being in it. And I think that's something that people should know too, especially younger kids looking where they want to start their career.
Right. They're maybe about to graduate from college.
Yeah, Allie. You don't have to know the industry. You'll
Yeah.
learn it when you're in it.
And I think that's exactly key. And you also mentioned something else I thought was key. You said you learned a lot of things from some jobs that you didn't enjoy. And I always say this, and Al's going, he knows what I'm going to say. I always say it's just as important to know what you don't want to do
Yes.
as it is what you do want to
Yes.
do. And so you have to try those experiences.
Yeah, and I
then-
wouldn't know what I didn't want to do if I didn't try them.
Exactly. Or that you didn't like the pay of TV.
Yeah, and it's so funny because people think TV is so glamorous.
And it serves a great purpose. I
Yes.
love local news.
And there are
I-
so many pros to it.
There are.
But when it comes to supporting yourself, that makes it difficult.
Yes, that is the difficult part, is to pay
Yeah.
the bills at the end of the day. And I love, and I've said it, Jay Hendricks has sat in this chair, and we've had a conversation about
The
it.
legend.
The legend. Yes, he is the GOAT. And I, said, I hope local news never goes away, because it is so important to our
Yes.
community. But I wish they paid more,
I do too.
because we're losing
'Cause we
great
see their worth.
journalists.
Yes.
We've lost some great journalists because of lack of pay and because of corporate buyouts that have made TV what it is. But anyway, that's another story. Okay,
Yeah.
we're going to talk about your question of the day now. This
Okay.
is just another time to pull out of the bowl, see what question you get. All right,
Oh,
which
gosh.
card did you get?
Inspired.
The Inspire card, yes, because we're inspiring today. What is that?
Oh, I was like, is there a question? Okay. What project or accomplishment would you consider the most significant in your career?
Oh, good question.
Ooh. I actually have one that I'm not allowed to share yet,
Oh,
but
no.
that is probably one of them so far. So once this airs, then that comes to be, you'll be like, oh, that's what she was talking about.
Now we'll know what you're talking about. Well,
Yes.
now curiosity kills the cat.
Yeah.
I want to know what this new project is.
know.
But up to this point that you can share, what's your favorite?
I think it's starting the podcast.
Oh,
Because that is something, especially for an oil and gas operator in the Permian on
Yes.
the E&P side, there's several podcasts out there for service companies or
Right.
different spaces of oil and gas, but there's not many of the major players starting their podcasts and pushing out
Yes.
their narrative that way.
Yes.
And so it's been such a fun and fulfilling project that I hope gets to continue.
I love that. I think that's fantastic. What is the most important message you want to get out from Diamondback? Because as an outsider looking in, I think it's an amazing company, and they do so much good for not only our community, but the world. What is the message that you hope everybody knows about Diamondback?
I hope that everybody knows, and I hope that they can see through the work that we do, that we truly care about where we live and work. And not only do we want to do it for the betterment of the community and where our employees live, but for the citizens across the U.S.
I love that. Y'all are doing a good job of that, getting that message out. Okay, time for some fun questions.
Okay.
Ready, Erin?
Yes.
Okay, this is just our little rapid fire. You tell me the first thing that comes into your mind, okay?
Let's hope something comes to mind.
Favorite book?
Oh my gosh. Okay, I actually just started not that I don't know how to read, but like read.
Oh, I get that. You've been busy.
I
with
just started
sports
reading
and-
for fun.
Yes.
About 2 years ago.
Right.
And so I think The Nightingale is one of my favorites.
Okay.
It's a historical fiction, but I just love learning a little bit, but also being entertained as I read.
Good. And I think it's important to find what genre you enjoy, right? When you are reading for fun, not because school makes you.
Exactly. Yeah, I had to take quite a bit. I had to take a break for quite a bit, and now
Yes.
I'm like, okay, I enjoy it.
I love that. Okay, favorite podcast?
Favorite podcast?
Besides both of ours.
Besides
of
ours,
course.
yeah. Obviously, those are at the top.
Of course, Fueling Tomorrow and the Krista Escamilla Show.
yes, selfish plugs.
Yes.
But The Toast is my favorite one,
Okay.
and that is just two sisters that talk about pop culture and everything that's going on in their lives. And you have daughters.
Yes.
I've got two sisters, and it just is so relatable, and they all have their inside jokes, and it's just hilarious.
How fun. I'll have to listen.
Yeah,
The Toast.
they're a hot
Okay.
mess, but it's
Okay,
great.
I love it. I love
Yeah.
hot messes. All right, favorite movie?
Okay. I'm not that big of a movie girl, but one movie I could watch on repeat is Bridesmaids.
Okay.
I love a
Bridesmaids.
comedy.
Yes. You can just laugh. I like a good movie. You can jump
Yes.
in. You've seen it 20 times, but you can jump in at any point and laugh
Yes.
for a half hour.
And I don't want to have to
Yeah.
think too hard when I'm watching it.
Exactly. I love that. I love that. Okay, a fun fact about you. I think I know which one you're going to share, but what's a
Oh.
fun fact about you?
I have a twin brother.
That's the one I
Okay.
thought you were going to share.
And I
was
have
like,
a fun fact that's weird too.
Okay, I want it.
I
Yes,
don't
share
have
it.
a sense of smell.
What?
Yeah. That's my
At
fun
all?
fact.
Like,
nothing.
Was this even before COVID?
Yeah,
Like,
it's
before-
been like
no sense of
since
smell.
I have autoimmune disease, and it happened with that. And my doctors have no idea why. But
Nothing
literally
triggered
since
it.
I was 18, I have not been able to smell. Nothing. Like
Interesting.
you could put something right here. It could be good or bad.
Well, that's good if I didn't shower. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a catch-22.
It is, right?
Yeah.
Or if I sprayed a lot of perfume and I was hoping you'd notice it. Like, do you
That's
like
what-
this new Sol de Janeiro? I don't know.
I know.
I can't smell
So
it.
I have to be very trusting. So Alexis, right? She's one of my best
Uh-huh.
friends. She helps me pick out perfume or candles and all that. But then
Aw.
I have to be very trusting that either Alexis, my sisters, or mom are being truthful with what they
Right.
tell me smells good.
Right. Well, you
Yeah.
need to get whatever Allie wears. It smells really good right now. The milk.
You'll have to tell me.
Milk.
It's hair product.
It's a hair product.
But she smells so good when she leaves for work in the morning. So you might go get some of that.
Yeah, I'll tell her to do my hair.
Yeah, so put a squirt of that in there. Okay, favorite life hack, something that makes your life easier.
Oh, I am a 6 a.m. workout kind of gal.
Nice.
And big on routine. Something that makes my life easier. And I don't have kids, so obviously, like, I'm only centered about what I have to do when it comes to making things easier. I set out my clothes before I work out, and they're every single day.
I love that. I used to do that when I did the morning show. I would set my clothes out the night before, and I would go around all the kids' rooms. I don't know if they remember this, but I would set out their clothes the night before because I wouldn't be there in the morning for them to get ready.
Yes.
And so that was my favorite life hack back then.
So my workout clothes, they're right there. I literally wake up, put them on, I'm out the door.
Smart. It saves you time, right?
Yeah. Well, if I have to get up and go find them, that's not happening.
Yeah. I love that. That is
so not a life hack for everyone, but it is for me.
Great life hack. Okay, favorite restaurant in Midland, Texas.
Oh my goodness, there's so many good ones. And I am huge on eating local and staying small, but Cowboy Prime is definitely our favorite.
It's really good.
Yes, Alexis and I love going there to share a drink and some apps.
Yes.
And then I also love Cancun and Opal's. They're just the classics, but they're so good.
I agree.
And Murray's. That's probably one of our favorite lunch spots.
Okay, one more. Favorite coffee shop.
Oh, I am torn. Far West, I love going there, going for a walk, and then getting to sit at their like normal location. But then we also love visiting downtown. But we
haven't been there yet. The downtown one.
But we have a Black Rifle in our building, and I love what they stand for as well. So those are my two favorites.
Love that. Okay, we are getting close to the end. Oh, favorite intern.
Ali Escamilla.
Well, thank you for being such a good role model to her this
she
summer.
has been a joy to have at the office.
Well, she has enjoyed her time with you. I mean, she really did. She talks about you every day. I felt like I've known you already, but now I really know you and have gotten to know you more.
That's what I tell her. I was like, I know we both have great sister relationships, but I feel like I've had a little sister at the office. It's been great.
I love that. Well, thank you for being such a good role model to her this summer, and I know she has enjoyed it just as much. So good times, good times. Okay, let me look over my list, make sure I'm not. Oh, favorite hype song. You're walking in a room. Erin Bailey's walking in a room. What's playing in her head?
There's so many things. I am a huge music girl. The first one that pops. Okay, so fun fact, when I worked in minor league baseball, there was one player that would always let me pick his walk-up songs.
Oh, nice.
It was like the highlight of my time there. This Is the Way I Live by Lil Boozy is a great one.
Okay.
And then I also, not even embarrassed about it, I love Fergie.
Oh, I love Fergie.
So Glamorous or Fergalicious, you put those on and I'm like, instant joy.
Nice. I love it. I love it. So now I'm going to think of you when I hear those songs. When Fergalicious
like,
comes on, I'm like, Erin, this is your song.
Yes, and it literally goes back to junior high.
Right.
Like my sister will hear it and she's like, Erin, remember in junior high? And I'm like, I do. Yeah.
Isn't it amazing how you hear a song and it takes you back to that time, right?
Yes.
I mean, I'm with you. I love music so much, and I am right there with you. I can hear a song and I'm like, oh, that reminds me of this moment, this, or this kid, or this, like or this summer that we spent out driving around California, it just speaks, it sparks this memory, which is a beautiful thing about music. So, well, there you go. Now when I hear Glamorous and Fergie, I'll think of you. Yeah. We're coming to the end of the podcast, and it's been so much fun getting to know you, Erin. Is there anything that we haven't talked about that you were coming into it going, oh, I hope that we get to talk about this or get this message out that you want to conclude with?
I don't think so. I feel like we touched everything.
We did.
I didn't know what we were going to share about the journey, but I feel like we gave everyone a little bit about my background.
I think so too. We learned a lot, and I loved your quote, find the joy every day. You get to choose, because that is so important, and just can no matter where you're at in your journey, that can change where you're at. If you're having a downtime, think of the good.
And it's so easy to find the bad. But when you shift your mind to find the good, everything gets better.
Well, thank you so much for sharing your time. Thank you for doing what you do. You're doing an incredible job.
Thank you so much.
Best of luck with season 3 and beyond.
Yes.
Because are you wrapping up season 2?
We're getting close,
Getting close to the end. And keep on podcasting. It is such a beautiful art form, I believe, and journalist form, because we get to share good news. And to me, there's nothing better than sharing good news. So keep doing the good work.
Thank you so much.
Super proud of you. I know I just met you, but I'm super proud of you. And we want to thank all of you for listening today. Allie, you want to come on out so people know who we were talking about? Our daughter, Allie, you can go back and watch her in Aspen's episode. It was like episode, 30 something.
Allie's going to say, don't watch it.
But we appreciate you sharing this time with all of us today. follow her podcast, Fueling Tomorrow. Where can they find it?
YouTube, Spotify, and Apple.
There you go. Follow it today. And also just support local, as we mentioned earlier. I love what Diamondback does by supporting local. You can too by supporting any of the local businesses we mentioned today. Thank you to our sponsors. We'll shout a few of them out again one more time. The Preserve at Midland, which is so exciting. Can't wait to see when that's finished talking about construction, along with the Midland Athletic Syndicate. Those are going to be two fun ones to watch in our community. Also, Rig ID Workwear, Omni Midland Hotel, the Laughlin Hotel, Thin FR, joincapclub.com, and Midland Cap Company. Just support local wherever you're at, because when you support local, you're supporting your fellow community members and neighbors and friends. So thank you again, Erin.
Thanks so much for having me.
And don't forget, our motto here at the Krista Escamilla Show is to dream big, right there, believe, and never give up. Thanks for joining us. You make it a great day.